What's up, guys? Tawok here, bringing you episode 7 of the Spicy Sausage. Today, we're going to talk about X-Link, we're going to talk about general gaming banter with Mass Effect, Ghost Recon, Steep with Check My Steez and all that shit. And today, I'm joined by Skimask.
Migaloo.
And Mr.Blonde.
Howdy doody. So, we gotta give a big shout out, big thanks, big kudos, big props, big money, big love, big shit to Tyzilla. Tyzilla came on our podcast last episode. Very, very good guy, very amicable gent, and he was also flexible as far as our schedule. We were a bit loosey-goosey with recording dates and stuff like that, which was unfortunate, but he was very accommodating when it comes to that, and many thanks. You can reach him if you didn't watch the last episode. You can reach his YouTube channel. He's just called Tyzilla83, and he's got very nice content there.
General gaming, and he's got the Pig Trail Network with all the sports and stuff. Yeah, it's just great chatting with him, and he's welcome to come back anytime.
Absolutely. Make sure to check that out if you're curious as to whatever happened to Parappa the Rapper, who is actually making his comeback This Is It tour with Parappa the Rapper Remastered, which we may talk about someday if any of us ever bother to get it.
I have so much nostalgia for Parappa the Rapper that, we could probably do like a 3-episode piece on it, you know?
Well, I figured one of you guys put in for the closed alpha, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got Gunny Plus, so I got the Parappa Private forums right there on my favorites tabs.
I actually donated $3,000 to their Kickstarter to be mo-capped into one of the rap songs.
Oh, nice.
It's the Stevie Bizzle tier. So how are you guys doing this week?
I'm doing good. Just like I said, or like we mentioned before the podcast, and we'll probably mention later, I posted up my first article for DFG, Digital Fire Games.
Hey, no shit.
Okay, drop the link before you get into that.
DigitalFireGames.com.
Fucking right on, man. Good for you. I look forward to seeing it. I'm going to check it out.
Your first official article on the Whirly Pipes, huh?
Yeah, up on the Whirly Pipe. It's a review for the recently released Ghost Recon Wildlands. While I was writing it, I hadn't beat the game yet, and I was saying I think this article is going to be reflective of my mostly positive experience in stark contrast to everybody else's kind of negative opinions on the game. But as I played it more, I started to hate it more, unfortunately. But I don't know. It's still got its moments. But what did you do, Ski?
To be honest, I think I posted up a graphic the other day. I think I got anywhere from like 35 to 46 some fucking hours playing, and I don't have a 0 main mission complete yet. So
What were you doing?
I'm collecting weapons, running side missions, collecting supplies.
Is that burning you out on the game to play it like that?
Not one bit. I'm actually one of the people that have actually played every Just Cause. I played a lot of the I'm trying to think of one of the other Ubisoft games that was real. Obviously a lot of the Assassin's Creeds and stuff.
Well, and the reason I ask you that is because Blonde and I are both fond of Metal Gear Solid 5, and I had a friend that insisted on doing all the side ops as they became available, and he ended up not beating the game because of it.
Yeah, don't count me out for that. I'm not an idiot. I see this as a game as, and not to say your friend was an idiot, but I count this as one of those games I think I'm going to pretty much platinum on. I'm going to stick around and see what the competitive mode is once it finally does drop, whether that be in the spring, after Memorial, hopefully, or, as late as Labor Day. And I don't know what those are in Canadian holidays, Blonde, but basically the beginning and the end of the summer. But whatever they do decide to drop, I'm going to have everything done. It's not that I didn't necessarily... I'm having a blast. I wanted to go get a sniper rifle that I enjoyed. So
did you go get the HTI?
I haven't. So there you go.
Kidding.
Now I just tacked on an extra 12 hours.
That's like the God gun. That thing is. It shoots. It basically might as well be a railgun from Quake when it comes to shooting down helicopters.
When I heard about that gun, I went and got it like immediately, and that's one of the funnest experiences I've had in the game so far. Is like assaulting that base and actually getting in to get that gun.
I felt that same way almost about every gun that I've gotten so far. Because I just, and I actually haven't really had any method to my madness other than grabbing an occasional dude in a cowboy hat and a Corvette or whatever, tarrying for, the weapon locations and just kind of taking a peek at what they have and then either moving on or sometimes I get sidetracked or...
I was very procedural about it. Like I took this game methodically where I didn't want to go to a province, a new one, until I'd finished the one that I did, generally. I wanted to branch out a little bit and do every province. I didn't want to bother like getting all of the intel and all the weapons and stuff like that in it. But once I finished all the main missions, I would move on. And I mentioned that in my article. I played with some friends, and they were playing in a province that I wasn't even in yet. And I'm not like putting them at fault or anything, but that kind of annoyed me, just being just sort of getting dumped halfway across the country.
Yeah, I didn't really do a lot of that either. I started out with a couple other friends kind of in the very beginning, and then I got up to a certain point, and then I went back, helped another friend kind of get caught up, and then I never really got back with those two friends again, and then kind of went off on my own for a long while. And then next thing you know, like you've beat it now, and it's only been out for, I suppose, about a month.
About a month and change.
Yeah.
It came out on March 7th. But yeah, I beat it. I found that later on, I stopped caring so much like I used to be. I was always trying to play it stealthy, but now I've got all these cool guns to play with, and I might as well start. So my character's dressed. He's got the cowboy hat, some cool sunglasses, a stogie, a plaid shirt, and he's just running around with like a gold SVD and stuff like that, taking people down.
Right on.
I
can appreciate it.
So that's a little less common now that I've beaten the game. But
so you like totally burnt out as fuck from it? Like you're ready?
I'm not totally burnt out. I stopped playing before I reached that point to avoid that. And if anybody ever prompts me for co-op, I'll play it. If you play co-op with me, let me know. And stuff like that. And I'm also interested to see how the DLC works out. Obviously, the PvP stuff.
Sure.
A new DLC, Narco Road, is coming out for Season Pass holders on April 18th, and that's the racing expansion, which not a lot of people are excited about because
the vehicle controls, huh?
Because the vehicles control like a hardened brick of molasses sliding around on hot butter. It's really weird. It just doesn't feel right to me. It's all loosey-goosey stuff, and I'm not a fan. I've said loosey-goosey twice now in the span of about 20 minutes.
It's like you're driving on wheels of butter.
Duck, duck, gray duck. So, Tawok, you've been playing it? Up, down, yay, nay? Yeah. Where are you at with it?
Slightly above meh.
Yeah.
Like I said, like a lot of the times when I'm not streaming a game, when I'm playing, I just want to be quiet or like just chill out. So I don't play with cooperative teammates on Wildlands, and I still haven't played with them ever. Because, I mean, like the essence of that would be communicating and actually doing a better job than your bumblefuck teammates. And I don't really offer that to my team, so I just always play by myself with the other AI. And, like, it can really be a detriment to the experience when you're sitting there fighting, like, 15 dudes and 2 choppers, and you see your, like, 3 teammates over there, like, playing fucking cards and, like running around like retards, and you're just like, where's the fucking assistance?
Yeah, like, what are they doing? Clowns.
You basically, like, they're like the fire command might as well change the animation to him snapping his fingers and telling his teammate to wake up, because apparently they're deep sleepers and they can sleep through the distant sounds of attack choppers shooting rockets at you and stuff like that. It's kind of ridiculous, but
I was doing a lot of assaulting. I didn't really need them.
See, like I keep going back to it though every few days when I just want something that's like a decent
mindless
shooter, and I mean it's third person, and everybody knows that gets my willy going when I get the nice third person shooter, quote unquote tactical action. And there's some really really fun moments when you take out like 15 dudes and you MGL like two choppers out of the air, and it can be a pretty fun romp, and it's beautiful. It's just in 13 years, I don't think I'll be on a forum advocating for the revival of Ghost Recon Wildlands.
No.
Ditto.
Maybe Advanced Warfighter or the first Ghost Recon, but not this.
Vegas 2 remastered.
That'd be hot.
I still argue with Ditch about that. How he thinks Vegas 2 is better than Siege. I don't want to slander the guy, but he's a terrible human being for thinking that. And
okay, moving along. No, that's cool though.
They're both great Rainbow Six games in their own right.
Sure. And I like a shooter just as much as the next guy.
I mean, Vegas 2 has its positives, but it's just, I don't know. All of them are ruined by the fact that the controls are just kind of awful.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. They're not good.
I had a lot of fun with the co-op with Vegas 2 with my buddy Nails. I mean, we played the crap out of it because we were always digging for co-op games in the PS3, and we always had a humdinger of a time to find one that wasn't always just fucking terrible. And like even some, if you guys ever remember one of the kill zones, I mean, it had great co-op, but all of a sudden you realize that the story is very linear and it's only about one person.
Yeah.
And like your co-op buddy's not even involved in the story. And so they're not even referred to, and you're like, oh, that's kind of lame. So it still baffles my mind. Like even a game like SOCOM will have AI co-op and teammates and online play, and it'll have all these fucking features, and yet games made so far later, just, I mean, they're barely even like putting up a fight anymore. I mean, there's just trash everywhere you look.
I don't know. It's just weird stuff. Like streamlining games nowadays involves cutting out stuff that seems unimportant. But as far as the actual game experience, I feel like they've cut out so much shit that I do find important. It's just like online settings, friend lists. I mean, those are handled by PSN now, but stuff like that, they just get rid of it and give you this bare bones shit. And it's, I don't know.
It's dumbing down the quality for the fucking casual audience, man.
Yeah.
Or is it that these places have such bloated budgets now? Being bigger studios, being incorporated into larger companies, are they having to take on more responsibility for some kind of...
Like, they've got crazy budgets, yeah, but they're spending it on shit like... They're spending it on graphics. They're spending it on getting these crazy voice actors. They're spending it on a bunch of superficial shit that, like, it's cool, but it would be even cooler if it was on top of a good game. I'm not saying I'm not saying anything groundbreaking, but it's
What's that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see them having to pay a bunch of money for voice acting. I think that's fucking nonsense.
No, not for like prolific voice actors necessarily, but I mean, like when it comes to Mass Effect and shit like that, when it's like, hey, we got Keith David, that's really cool, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like but it's nonsensical that you'd have to add. So, like, I would imagine some of the bigger names cost a lot of money, and that's kind of silly. I mean, even you got a guy over there in your fucking textures department that has got a sweet voice. Have you heard him in the break room? I mean, he's talking about this and that. It's got me thinking.
Like,
but no, it's just...
I can't wait for the Rocket League Telltale game series. Better get Luckenbacher on that.
Everything gets a Telltale series. I can't wait for the SOCOM Telltale series.
Yep.
I just think that sometimes it's the forest for the trees. I just don't see a lot of times them putting the effort where it needs to be, and then them spending money needlessly on things that just don't really matter. And I get it. Don't Nathan Drake is a Nathan Drake. You want to have him be Nolan or whoever, but some of these things are just like, ugh. I gotta imagine their blood budget.
Get an impersonator. Get Nolan South. Get somebody else.
Exactly. There's a few of them out there. So, But what about you guys? What else have you guys been playing? Anything else besides Ghost Recon?
That's been it for me. I go back every now and then to the fan page just to check out my developments in my base and stuff like that are doing, just in case I want to get back into it. I did play it a fair stretch before Wildlands came out, which probably didn't help me getting burned out on Wildlands, or almost getting burned out.
So what you're saying is the sausages know that you're hooked on the MMO qualities of MGS5.
I'm not like hooked. I like all
it.
the numbers and stuff like that. I'm not buying MV coins. All right, calm down.
But you log in every day to make sure you didn't get assaulted and to retaliate and whatnot.
I mean, there's nothing I can do about that, but I want to see how my weapons are doing. Like, I put in some effort to get the semi-automatic tranquilizer pistol, the Burkov, to do more damage, so it doesn't suck compared to the Woo. It's just, that's basically all I'm interested in right now. I'm not trying to get like all the crazy shit, like the cool, I can throw a wormhole if I'm on an FOB mission or anything like that. But I like that. I like doing that, and I like farming tanks.
I haven't played MGS5 in 14 months, and I don't want to open it to see how fucked my fob is.
It's just cleaned out. They just started.
I have zero staff.
There's nothing left to steal. So they just started prying off the railings and running away.
I show up to post just sticking out of the ocean.
They're stealing all your hyenas from the animal platform.
Oh, fuck, don't take my hamster collection.
Yeah, please, if you want some of my 945 gerbils, you can have them. But that's about it. But no, other than Wildlands, it's not been much else, at least recently. I am thinking very soon getting Skyrim remastered, and if I do, maybe that's my next article. I don't know. Find out. Why don't you find out?
What about you, Tawok?
I stopped playing Tomb Raider because I got to the bullshit London levels. And it's funny, I stopped playing Tomb Raider 3 because I got to the hard London levels, so I was like, I'll pick up Dark Souls again.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a good way to fuck it.
Just to cleanse the palate.
Yeah,
with some more punishment.
The great thing about that game is it's like, there's a great dichotomy where I'm like, man, I really want to play Dark Souls because it's a really deep and like rewarding experience when it goes right, but I'm torn with my desire to not be miserable.
Yeah, it's like it seems like I've never played much Dark Souls, but it seems like a very psychologically taxing experience most of the time.
You have to be fully invested going into it. Like, you can't half-heartedly go into it and be like, oh, I'm going to romp around for half an hour. Nope, you'll have a very bad time.
Nope. Yeah. I tried doing that myself. I rented that baby, and she went right back the next day.
It took me 3 tries, like 3 separate attempts over several months before I discovered the beauty of the game. And I didn't discover the beauty until I looked up a guide of how to be overpowered.
Exactly.
Because like if you go right away in the beginning and you go get the Gravelord sword, you can be so overpowered for like 60 to 70% of the game that most casuals can have a decent time. But like eventually that breaks for you, and you actually have to be good at the game.
Yeah, you gotta fake it until you make it.
It took me 3 hours to beat Artorias the other night, and I accepted 21 deaths before summoning help, and then I summoned 2 people to help me, and it cost me 4 attempts, which I had to burn a humanity every time, and that's painful.
Jeez.
Yep, Dark Souls, baby. And then, I've been doing the Wildlands, and then I've been playing a lot of Fallout Shelter lately, too. That game's so retarded.
You're getting on me about the MMO shit in MGS5, and you're playing Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, I know.
Terrible.
What's the difference between Fallout and Fallout Shelter? I mean,
Fallout Shelter is one of those free-to-play games where it kind of plays itself. And you go back every 3 minutes to collect your water and your electricity and your food and shit. And then you build your vault deeper, and then Fallout's the actual game. Fallout Shelter's like a mobile bullcrap.
No, I mean I played Fallout. That's what I'm saying. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? But yeah, I get it. Lots of different kind of games like that out there, I suppose.
Every series has its like own freemium title now, it seems.
Wildlands does. I just haven't bothered with it.
I bother with the freemium title for Wildlands, and it has enabled me to never ever have to get a resource drop.
Oh yeah.
Well, no wonder
I
I'm
completely
struggling.
ignore all the resource missions and all the stupid little
And
things
you
you tag.
just rock and roll on a freaking iPhone app, huh?
Yeah, because I play the app a few times a day, and I have enough resources to fucking do everything I need.
No wonder why I've been. See, that's just it. So Blonde's like, yeah, what have you been doing? Trying to like jack convoys and all this like stupid stuff, just so I can like buy my skill points. I mean, I'll admit I'm leggy on fucking all of those except for just maybe one. And that's before I've even really killed more than 5 actual enemy. I don't know what you call them, sub bosses, I guess, underbosses.
The Bukans.
Bukons,
Bouchon.
yeah, Bouchons. But yeah, so that's how far I'm only like 5 in, so I got a ways to go. But I just want to be sure I'm stacked with the gear that I come accustomed to enjoying and tearing it all up. Like nobody, I don't know about you guys, but did you guys ever hear about stacking the Saiga or whatever when you run around? I think you go from 5 rounds to 30 just with one different accessory case, and that makes that gun like, I don't know.
Well, see, and that's why like you don't have to collect all the weapons if you don't want to, man. Like you can look on the
I'm
list and
cherry-picking 'em.
see like where you
Sure,
have
and
to
I
go
just
to
think
get
that
what
lame.
you want.
Yeah, no, and normally I would, but that's for me. Like I said, I'm having a blast. I really don't mind unplugging and just going flying around, parachuting into a town. I'll see stuff on the way in and just stop and just go jack it or do what I got to do, and it's perfect for that kind of stuff. I actually,
I'm just
quite
worried
enjoying
that
myself.
you're gonna do all that stuff and then you're gonna finally start doing the main mission stuff and then get bored.
Yeah, but this is the guy who shelved Metal Gear Solid 5 within maybe an hour of playing it. And never went back to it. Actually, I went back to it again just to go like, I still don't get this fob thing. And then you guys are telling me that there's really nothing to it. Just kind of did it for me. I played the online and enjoyed that for what it was real quick. And then I was like, yep, peace out. I'll come back maybe like every other Metal Gear Solid. Just the way it is for me, guys.
You shell Metal Gear Solid 5, but you stick with Wildlands. I just feel
exactly. Right.
I just feel like something's wrong with your brains.
There really is, but I'm also the same guy. Like you guys weren't gonna ask, but playing different games. I play all sorts of weird shit. I mean,
Yeah, what have you been playing then, Ski?
Well, lately I've been
Summer
playing.
Lesson?
What?
Playing some Summer Lesson. Playing some
Dance.
Persona 75. Playing some whatever weird Idolmaster games. Did you say you wanted to talk about Mass Effect? Have any of us played that?
I haven't played Mass Effect at all, and I really don't plan to.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I'll just say that all the coverage I've seen of the game is bad. From the in-game, like from the actual content of the game, to the controversy surrounding the people making it, to the visuals of the game, to the gameplay, to anything. Basically, it doesn't look like there's much good about the game at all. But I mean, I've not ever really been a big Mass Effect guy, obviously. I don't know. It just it didn't really appeal to me before, but now seeing all this shit come out, it just makes me kind of glad that I didn't use this as my jump-in point. I don't know. Have you guys played any of the Mass Effect? Not necessarily the most recent one, just the franchise in general.
Oh, I played the original trilogy, and it was great until it ended.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of all of them. Yeah, I played the second one from start to finish. I really enjoyed it. It's my favorite. I really like the base building or the shipbuilding portion of it. That's kind of another thing with the some of the other games and stuff. I just thought that Mass Effect 2 did a really good job of like kind of making the shit more personable. I mean, it could have went a lot farther, don't get me wrong, but I just thought it was kind of neat just putting extra little things in his quarters, or unlocking other parts of the ship, and that was kind of what I always looked forward to. So, but at the same time, I went and mined the galaxy for every damn mineral that I think that game could supply, and then some. So I also, like you were saying, Blonde, earlier, about you were wondering about my longevity with sticking to the the main goal of squashing the recon from start to finish. I really don't have that problem. I mean, I can seriously go out, clear the entire side missions of everything, and then go back and kill each guy one by one. But
All right.
it's not actually going to come to that. I forgot, and Tawok, I actually thank you for reminding me about that bullshit app on the side. I'll just have my wife download it, and just like that GTA one where you fed that stupid dog, I'll just have her do that, or play that on her own time.
I never bothered with that stupid shit, mainly because that app running made my phone seem like it was gonna melt.
and I don't have the garbage phones to have that stupid stuff on there, so she can have it on her iPhone, and she can collect me all the supplies I need, because to be honest with you, getting all that freaking food to do what I want to do with my guys I was gonna get upset, because I mean some of those skill points required like 4,000 or 5,000, and I think a couple of those things of food was not gonna get me there, So
yeah.
thanks for reminding me of that, or bringing that up, buddy.
You can send yourself 5,000
tip.
resources every day.
See, there you go. So I mean, that's pro tip. But yeah. So as far as other games though, I've been playing the Gran Turismo Sport closed tech test, or whatever the hell that thing's called.
Yeah. How's that looking?
It's good. They're seeming to kind of narrow the focus of the content that they want us to play. Which
no kart racing?
No, well, they've actually, like, they started out initially offering up an arcade mode and a like a sport mode, and they still kept all the other options. You can still see them on the screen, and you can see them from any of the shots that I have. But so you can see that there's still a campaign or whatever. But even today, we just got an update, and they've now taken away the arcade because they want people to play more of the online races.
Yeah.
And you can tell almost from the message that it seemed like they were frustrated. So
yeah,
whatever.
maybe. I don't know.
Because they actually were saying that people were playing too much of that other stuff.
How dare you not beta test the way we want you to beta test?
Yes, please come service stress tests, please. That's what we have asked you here to do.
Yeah, that's
and give us all your comments.
But the last Gran Turismo that I played for any length of time, well, I played 5 for a little bit, but I played 3 a lot as a young lad. But I only ever really played arcade mode, and would delve into simulation mode, buy a Mazda Miata, and then go broke. So it's just wasn't a game that I was really good at, especially the simulation stuff. But
sure.
It was still fun, and the soundtrack was always really good. I'm a big fan of the composer, Isamu Ohira, very good composer. A lot of piano, a lot of horn instruments.
Are you telling me you didn't like the license tests?
No. Who did anybody like the license tests except for that crazy kid that I saw in a YouTube video that was like 8 years old nailing them on like a resistant wheel?
I think anybody who's really enjoyed the series from start to finish can appreciate the license tests and what it takes to accomplish them perfectly.
Yeah, what it takes is the patience of a saint. And
well, I would say more the patience of a saint is to take a Mazda Miata and put it on a 96-hour challenge. That was one of the ultimate tests.
A 96.
That almost drove most people insane.
Yeah.
But
24 hours of La Mazda. That's a racing joke right there.
I mean, they really did have that a couple of different races with that Mazda. I mean, that creator has always had a passionate love for Mazdas, because you'll find that there's every version of the MX-5 in that
oh
video.
Yeah.
But so for the most part though, go ahead.
I'm gonna get a Mazda sometime. It's gonna happen if I win the lottery.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy 20 of those.
Yeah,
What?
you just get a used car now.
Yeah.
But I've been playing a lot of Gran Turismo, the sport closed beta test, and been playing some Steep still, as always. I've had the game
Indeed.
since at least December. And
That we can segue that right into the contest, the videos.
The
yeah,
competition.
Yes.
yeah, it's been such a lackluster thing. I didn't even want to talk about it, to be honest with you. It's it's
Yeah.
been fine.
I think it is about as good as every other competition I've seen go over, man.
Well, I just feel like that community is really caving in on itself, and it's kind of sad to be around it. I haven't gotten too far into their forums just because of that fact. I sense a lot of frustration with the studio, with the particular feedback that they're providing, and people's kind of lack of understanding video game development. And so some of the things I've seen people ask for is like you guys can only imagine. I mean, it's just like
You
anything
remember back
else.
in the 90s, we didn't give a shit about game development. We just bought games and we read about games and that was it.
Yeah, and you just
We weren't
you got
like,
what you
oh man, we
got,
need
you
to have an
played it, and
understanding to fucking know that, this is coming. We just need to be patient.
Yeah, we
no,
weren't
but I mean, people are
Googling.
asking for like entire games again for a patch. You know what I mean? And it's like, listen, buddy, you don't understand. Like, you can't just drop that shit in there.
I don't
You know?
understand how you guys don't have every skiway in the world.
Yeah, well,
Or
why
yeah,
don't you have the bunny slope from the mountain right next to my house?
well, I mean, a couple of the concerns one of the guys had was pretty legitimate. He just said, you had a snowboard park and you didn't really have much rail sliding, which is like what people want to do when they go take their snowboard to a snowboard park. And the guy's got a valid concern. So they add some rail sliding and stuff, but then he got upset that like one of the additions to the the DLC was free and it offered an entirely extra mountain, as you know, Tawok, you've been playing it. And he was upset that there was no more extra, board parks over there. And it was pretty lackluster and all that. And I kind of argue with that fucking mountain was rough. I mean, Denali is like when you're skiing down that and boarding down it, whatever, the G's get going so fast that it's easy just to tumble that I found it almost challenging to put together 2 minutes where I wasn't biffing everywhere. So, I mean, some of the stuff that you can quickly throw together, sure, it's incredibly, the physics aren't exactly real, it's still a video game. But if anybody ever remember 1080 or heavy shredding, or wow, I just dated myself there, but those kind of games where you can jump on rooftops and just go down and clip the car on the way down, maybe hit a little rail, and then down just like creepy little pass into like some nighttime, like, and then people are like wingsuiting across the sky across, I think it's awesome. But a lot of these fucking these players out there are really upset with the studio. They don't feel like they got their money's worth, which I guess I can agree with. Cause
If you paid $60, yeah, you might agree with
yeah,
that.
but at the same time, I mean, a lot of people got a chance to beta test it, so they knew what they were getting. And they made it free for a lot of people to play it beforehand. So a lot of people did know what they were getting. Whereas myself, I did the beta test. I enjoyed it for what it was. And then when I was, saw a game like Gran Turismo was being delayed, I jumped all over it. So I've had, the times that I get a chance to put it in, I've had a great time. So
Yeah.
uh,
I don't
back
know.
to the contest itself, though. I mean, the forums are dead. The Reddit's pretty much dead. There's a couple of shit trolls over there that have downvoting people, and
Welcome to
then
Reddit, man.
exactly.
If a community has 3 people, it has 2 shitheads.
Yeah. So I don't take that shit personal, but it's like, okay, I've had to modify my expectations, and like I said, I didn't expect anything more than either one video to be submitted to maybe, I don't know, hopefully 100. And the first week I got 5.
If you look at the Reddit for it right now, though, it seems like your competition's picking up steam, man.
Yeah,
because I've been trying to be forthcoming at least. And
Does
I don't know
anybody
if that's how
ask
you're
what the
supposed
hell
to
the name
curate.
means?
What do you mean?
It's called Check My Steez. I'm not trying to talk shit. I'm just saying, has anybody
No,
asked?
okay, so for those of you that don't know what Steez is, it's just A steez is kind of like when you're skating or if you're snowboarding or skiing. Steez is just the style you bring to it. It's just how you look, how you perform. I mean, just your swagger. I mean, that's what
All right.
steez is. So check
Give me
my
Steve.
steez has always just been like, wow, you pop a trick and just you do it. And then when you land and you turn around, you gloat and clown on your friends, and that's steez. So
All
check
right.
my C's has always been something that I don't know. It's kind of like saying "Hey, loose," you know. Give people the two fingers. Does anybody still do that anymore? The pinky and the thumb, hang loose?
No.
No. Bunch of fucking bums. So, anyways, that's why people are always angry today because they run around with their heads down in their fucking iPhones, playing their stupid GTA apps, grinding on their supplies for Wildlands, and guys like me are running around trying to engage people on a fucking human level, and nobody wants to play. So
I don't know. I think you could have picked a game that, like, I read
it doesn't have any
Red.
multiplayer. Don't get me wrong. I'm not even talking about that game anymore. So
No. I watched Victor Lucas's review of Steep. You guys might remember Victor Lucas from Reviews on the Run or Electric Playground, unless that was just a Canadian thing. I don't know.
yeah, I'm drawing a
That was
blank.
on Tech TV right next to X Play. Did you guys watch any of that? Or
I'm pretty sure I'd
remember.
seen it if it was in like the G4 TV network kind of stuff.
I
Yeah,
did. Whether or
yeah.
not I retained it is a whole different story.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I always made
So
the
what do you have
mistake
to
of
say about it?
it's
Do you remember?
I don't know. It just didn't really grab me. I've always been more into the SSX amped kind of snowboarding games rather than the more simulation ones. But
Sure.
yeah, just I don't know.
It is what
If
it is.
I'm gonna get an extreme sports game, it's gonna be. Well, it's not gonna be Tony Hawk anymore because Tony Hawk's fucking. His
Wow.
hand came up out of the grave, and then somebody beat it back down with a shovel with Tony Hawk 5. So
Yeah.
that's a negatory on that one, which is unfortunate, but whatever.
It is what it is. Personally, with all those games, things used to be a lot different even like a year ago. Actually, even a couple of months ago. I had a video store just down the street from me closed down. So I'm kind of bumming, man. I used to never really buy money games. So a lot of times you'll see me, it looks like I played just about everything. And that's just because I have. I could just go to the video store and rent it for a week for $2. I think my late fees at my local video stores was like 36 cents a day. And that was on like games that were older than 3 weeks. So I mean, it was always just like, I don't know. I enjoyed just the old school American fucking experience, man. And it's like now I have to buy games, and you're right. I mean, you have to be kind of choicier with your dollars and what you choose, and I'm finding that out. So for me at the time, though, again, I'm gonna go right back to it. There wasn't shit to play. There still ain't shit to play. And as far as I'm concerned, if you can find a game like Steep that you're interested in, fucking more power to you. Because I'm just struggling on console personally. I mean, there's some things I still want to get back to, but as far as like being excited for anything, because I know we were going to talk about like upcoming releases and stuff. I mean, other than like a Red Dead Redemption or something, I'm not really excited for much of anything. Are you? Too?
I'm excited for Red Dead Redemption a fair bit. Well, I'm excited, but I'm metering that expectation because of what happened with GTA 5, which, don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun with, but I have unique problems with the single player and the multiplayer that I won't get delved too deep into right now. But I'm worried that Red Dead Redemption is going to go down the same route with the multiplayer, where it's a lot more possessions focused than GTA 4's multiplayer or even Red Dead Redemption 1's multiplayer were, where it's like you got to buy these sweet new spurs if you want to look cool at the saloon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You got to get chrome.
here.
You got to get your chrome painted horse
Yeah.
with fucking turbo.
Well, and you guys don't actually expect a game to actually be available by like holidays, do you guys?
Well, what? That's I think
Maybe?
Red Dead Redemption 2 is slated for September this year. I think.
God, they did that same thing when they just been working on it in secrecy, and then they just
And then
basically
they're just boom.
dropped a little image on Twitter, and away they go. Huh?
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited for that. Ukulele came out today, I believe. Today, yes, today.
That actually
Um,
piqued my interest.
yeah. What are you guys thinking of that?
I can't play it without John Tron's voice in it, man.
Absolutely not. Fucking shame. See, I wasn't even really interested in talking about ukulele so much as that, so I just used that as the segue. That's called being
Oh, the
shifty.
funny thing is I don't give a shit about his voice being in or out of the game, but he sure did make an ass of himself on the World Wide Web, huh?
I don't know. I feel like I'm in the middle of it because not in the middle of it as in the middle of it, but I feel like I'm sort of middling on the issue because most of the shit that he said was pretty stupid and incorrect, and he shouldn't have said it in public, for God's sakes. But I also feel like
Ski probably has no idea what the fuck we're talking about.
there's a. I mean, we should probably elaborate for people listening that don't know what we're talking about too. If you're not aware, a very popular YouTuber by the name of John Tron, whose content I enjoy, went on went on Destiny's live stream on Twitch.tv, who's a pretty popular Twitch streamer, as I understand, and debated him on like current affairs and U.S. politics and stuff like that, and said a lot of stuff that made him look kind of stupid regarding race relations and stuff like that. Came off very conservative, and
I think the hip
wasn't a
term
good.
is alt-right.
Yeah, hip term, alt right, Breitbart. People were throwing stuff like that around all over the place. Not a good day at the races for him. And people
Totally
on
weird
the,
to hear it from a guy like John.
I've heard like snippets of it before then because he's been appearing on people's live streams talking about that kind of stuff. But this is the first time he's ever straight up debated somebody and been on a stream with people that disagree with him and shown his ass hard. Um, he just didn't look very informed on the subjects that he was talking about, and it just, like I said, it just wasn't a good day for him. And the reason that I'm in the middle is because I feel like there's whiplash in that people are reacting so strongly to this, hoping that he dies, hoping that he loses his livelihood as a YouTuber and stuff like that. And you're always going to get that with this kind of stuff. Obviously, people were saying that before this happened, just because they didn't like him because he's successful. But I feel like people kind of overreact a lot to this kind of stuff. I think, and I don't want to get too involved in political discourse on this podcast just yet, but is just I think people sort of rebound from the left to the right and don't settle in the middle. But that's just me. What do you guys think of that situation? I don't know if you're very informed on the matter, Ski.
I have no comment really.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What about you, Tawok?
Like I said, for me, I'd never heard that kind of rhetoric from John Tron, and it was just totally left field. Like, I consumed a lot of the guy's content before, and it's just, it's really weird to be put into that place. It would be, it's like Jim Sterling was like, imagine if George Clooney just came out of nowhere and said like the same kind of shit. Like, everybody would be like, "What the hell? Where did that come from?"
Yeah, that's a good rub for John Tron being compared to George Clooney. But no, I agree. I think the phrase that you're looking for is coming out of right field, but he yeah, it definitely caught a lot of people by surprise. The reason I say that I'm not gonna say I was not surprised by the amount of shit that he said and the extremity of it, but he's sort of spoken out against the far left recently a lot on Twitter and in videos sometimes. And at first, I thought that was the extent of it. A lot of people are sort of they're all talking about how the SJW movement's not how much they disagree with it and stuff like that. But I think he sort of again he rebounded to the right a little bit rather than just I guess disagree with extremists on both ends, if that makes any sense. But I don't know. I mostly wanted to hone in on his removal from Ukulele. He was going to voice, or he does voice a character in the game. Technically, the game went gold before all this went down, so he's still in the game if you don't patch it, which is nice for all the people that wanna stick to it. But it's just a shame, darn shame, darn tune shame. That you could say it's a shame that they did that, or it's a shame that he made them do that, or well, whatever the case may be. It's kind of a shitty situation for everybody.
The funny thing is, nobody knew John Tron was even in the game until they removed him.
I had heard about it a few times, being, involved in his content and somewhat his community, although they're kind of hard to be involved with. I'd heard about it a little bit. I actually saw the Twitter exchange where he's like, "Hey, it'd be cool if I could get to voice a character," and then one of the dudes on Twitter from Rare was like, or from Playtonic now was like, "Yeah, come on in." And so I guess that's how it happened. I don't know, but he only voices like one character, and all he does is make a loud shrieking noise over and over again. So it's not really much of a loss, in my opinion. But
you would have seen that guy shrieking, and oh, that's John Tron, controversial YouTuber.
Absolutely. What they should have done is they should have metamorphosized his character that he voices into basically like a Stormfront guy that hates a certain race of characters in the game. He hates the main characters. That's how they do it. That's what I would have done. But then
they could have parlayed it, but yeah.
I'm not in charge of a company, and that's probably why.
Because of your great ideas.
But no, yeah, it's just, I don't know. What else do you guys want to chat about?
So you guys saw that screenshot from Project Confrontation where they had the posters on the wall?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought those were computer monitors. Was I just not looking at that correctly?
No, they were like posters. They remind me of like my apartment in PlayStation Home. It was fucking beautiful, man. Many thanks to those guys. It's just whether or not that's even in the game. It's just
that
awesome
is pretty cool. That. It's very nice of you guys. Nice gesture. I appreciate it. It's just really cool to see. Just pop up on Twitter, and I saw that, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, for our listeners, the Project Confrontation team took the thumbnail from episode 5 when we interviewed them, and they put it on a wall inside of the Foxhole map in-game. It's a poster, and it just, they put that up, and then they got a poster for the Digital Fire podcast, too, and it's just a cool little nod from the team.
Yeah, it almost looks like I'm sorry, but the DFP, it almost looked like it was a bulletin board even. It was cool. I don't know. Like I said, I blushed. What about you, Blonde?
I didn't blush, but I did look at it, and I gave him a kudos, as I will now. It's very, like I said, it's a very nice thing to do, and the only thing that I'm worried about is that I'm pretty sure my avatar on TRS, I think it's for a music video, if I remember correctly, and it's if they do go gold with the game, I would change that, but it's that's a long ways off. I don't know.
Whatever, dude.
And anyways, I really doubt the people that made the music video are going to care. So it's
there. You go. No, it's awesome, and Semper Fi. We always look forward to the updates, man. So
those guys are fucking chugging along, man.
Yeah, we should talk about actually dev blog number 21. Should we? Just for a little bit. I think they added some more people to the roster, actually, if I read correctly last time.
Yep.
If TRS is going to load for me, wait a second. Here we are.
Yeah, they got another programmer.
Yes.
And they're also seeking to add 2 3D modelers and texture artists and stuff.
Please inquire within.
So if we have any listeners that are looking for work for modeling, environment, or texture artist, projectconfrontation.com seeks your skills.
Indeed.
So yeah, again, we're hoping to look for some updates from them as they go, and I know a couple other people are looking to play it and touch it and feel it and get their dirty on with it and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I'm excited for when they, open up testing to more people. It's a promising project. It's moving along at a fair pace, considering that it's currently non-profit, and it's I don't know, it's a refreshing sight to see. Whereas so many fan projects and revivals and stuff like that of the SOCOM franchise have already gone sour. I'm just hoping the best for this one. The guys that are at the helm seem like they're on the up and up, so here's to them. Here's hoping for the best, because it's been a really long time. We've had a lot of. It just seems
quite
like
the drought.
Seems like SOCOM 2 came out, or 3, or Combined Assault, or whatever you consider your boiling
SOCOM
point
choice.
for. Yeah, your.
How about when the server shut down? It's been quite a while. I mean,
Yeah, that was
SOCOM drought.
2012, wasn't it? 2012 or 2014?
Yeah, we said that before. It ended up being in August, but
Yeah.
I always felt like it ran longer. But whatever. We all miss it dearly, but we still play X-Link, as everybody knows, and keep on coming out, right?
Yeah.
Spread that word, and
I've been meaning to ask you, is there any special like any special procedure? You were talking earlier about getting everybody into a co-op mission.
there is.
More than 4. So what do you
We
need to do for
talk
that
to
again?
certain people. It's actually buried within TRS. I just gotta find it. It's
All right.
how you name the room.
Yeah, there's like a code you put at the beginning of your room name, and it allows like unlimited co-op people.
Yep.
Okay.
And I don't know if you need like that dude's patch or whatever you like to do that, or if that's just like
No, I'm
built
pretty
in.
sure that was just kind of that was the thing that they did. So
That's interesting. We should try that on Wednesday.
well,
see how
yeah,
that
that
works.
wasn't very hard. If I remember correctly, it is just off the top of my head and at the tip of my tongue. So we will have to try it again soon.
All right.
Because I remember he did tell me, because I was talking to him about it, one of the threads, and like I said, I have to search his name and some other parameters. But TRS can be kind of weak sauce sometimes with the search, at least with me. I don't know why. I have a hard time finding things when I search with it. Who knows? But yeah, I'm looking forward to co-op again. I was enthusing the other night with Tawok about season 2 and what that could maybe look like, and it got kind of exciting all over again. And I've yet to kind of really pick up my SOCOM Combined Assault Brady Games fucking signature series guide here. It's just been
spicy.
It's been chilling on the floor, and I do pick it up from time to time and go, why the hell did I look at this little.
I think for season 2 we should get another 4 guys together and only use military lingo and do every objective and stealth every mission.
I mean, they took this shit for real. I'm looking at mission 9, which was Sea Wasp. I mean, this dude looks like he ain't fucking around on here, along with some of those guys' maps, man. Those overlays and stuff from the top downs.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff's looking badass. And then they got the real photography, photographs, seals and stuff running in there with the. I mean, these dudes are even wearing the crew chief gloves and everything, the little softies.
Excellent.
And
I was actually watching this guy's YouTube videos of him acing every mission on SOCOM 1, and every video he would cut in like footage from a SEALs documentary and stuff like that.
And do like a slow pan like across the page or something. That would be fucking badass. That's an interesting idea. We should incorporate something fun like that.
Yeah.
And I've been, as you guys know, I've been soliciting feedback, and kind of it seems like it's falling off deaf ears, but of just arranging other type of pickup, I don't know, games, or doing a league, or having something fun for the summer set up so it has some kind of organization where people can get a lot of games together and meet new people. And I know not everybody uses in-game mics, so maybe Discord's the way to go. I don't know. I do know that there's a lot more people expressing interest in playing with us on Discord and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I personally, I don't think I'd be that interested in leagues or scrimmages or like wars or anything like that because I'm not really that great at the game, and I feel like I'd just sort of be a burden. But I'm also, I don't know. I just sort of like the loose nature of how I play now, where I can just
Sure.
sort of be the snipe guy every now and then as a joke. But I mean, I think if other people are interested, it's definitely a good idea. But I don't know. I feel
So
like
if I got like
scheduling.
golf leagues and stuff coming up on Fridays and stuff, and I just can't make it to TRS nights, I mean, it is what it
Yeah,
is, I guess. I don't know.
but
It'd be cool to see something come of that. I don't see us growing if we all kind of just ad hoc, because it's for some reason, and you guys know this, and I'm not dissing on your style, Blonde, because that's mine too. Don't get me wrong. I actually kind of hate the fact that it's the same night every week. I'd rather have just random nights or something, because I do like to just log on from time to time and just kind of just play a couple of games and then just shut the damn thing off. That's part of the beauty of X-Link, I think. But at the same time, I understand people don't want to make a commitment, and that's fair. That's fair. It's not that I want to get
I,
more competitive. I would like to see more people come together and us grow a community around the game to maybe drive support. So when it comes time, we can all kind of count on each other to speak up together as one loud, unison
yeah.
voice.
The thing that I like that when I play X-Link, it's mostly with people I know, and I'm not
Sure.
saying I don't want to get to know new people or anything because I can't really dodge that if I want to because new people are introduced into that fold little by
Yeah.
little, and I think that once we've vetted people and we've grown like a little, I guess, gated community, if you will, to put it in a way that makes it sound a little worse than it is to me. Um, it's more of a controllable experience, and we can make sure that everybody has a good time and that the stream is more positive and stuff like that. I think it's just that all that stuff happens, and then we're seeing the subsequent growth of like the whole X-Link community, where we're reaching 95, 96 people. It's seen a dip recently, obviously, but I'm hoping that that's just. I feel like it's been a concerted effort on a lot of people's parts to make it to the 90s, the 80s, and 90s this quickly, and people are starting to burn out on the game a little bit, or burn out on showing up on that specific night, or whatever it is. And obviously, every now and then, like last Friday, it's just not in the cards because X-Link's acting up. That happens from now on. And I
Yeah, the
think,
thing it was pissy at first
yeah,
for whatever reason.
but I think it's the growth that we've been seeing is a good sign. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still interested in playing with mostly TRS guys just because I know them and we can chatter pretty fluently. We've got more chemistry and stuff like that. And there's very few accusations of anything, much less cheating, because of that. Because everybody knows each other. There's like stakes if you do. You can't just duck out and go on a new name and fake nick and stuff like that. Especially in a private arena where there's sort of administration capabilities, stuff like that. I don't know. That's my case for it, anyways.
Well, guys, I feel like that about wraps it up for episode 7.
Same. I'm excited for future episodes. We got some stuff in the whirly pipe, as I've said before, and just like you guys to stay tuned and please give me money.
Leave a like, subscribe, tell a friend, give us a
Yes.
5-star review on iTunes, download
Send
that
an
shit on
phone.
SoundCloud, spread it to a friend, do your thing, be
We're going to be
yourself,
listed
go
on the New York Stock Exchange soon, so if you want to get a piece of the bratwurst, then do that.
NYSE TSS.
Yes. I'm going to have to check to see if that's taken.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for episode 7. From all of us at the Spicy Sausage, thanks for making it through this and listening to us talk shit about video games. leave a like on the YouTube video, 5-star review on iTunes. Let us know how you're enjoying it. It always warms us up and puts a little wind in the sails. So for Mr. Blonde, Skimask, and myself, this is the Spicy Sausage saying good night and God bless.
You crazy mother...